So it looks like the hits just keep on coming for Diddy, and I'm not talking about the musical kind. Just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, we have a new police report that has surfaced, and the details are absolutely wild. So the police have confirmed they have taken a report, and while they haven't officially launched a criminal investigation yet, the story this producer is telling is enough to make your jaw drop. So what exactly is it in this report that could spell even more trouble for the bad boy founder? Also, we have some new images of Diddy in prison, so let's get right into it. Now, we have a music producer which officially filed a report for the police, and it's a doozy. He went to the authorities in Florida, and the report is now in the hands of the LA Sheriff's Department. According to this producer, the whole thing kicked off while he was working on a project with a pretty big name, CJ Wallace, the son of the legendary Notorious B.I.G. So this producer basically said that Diddy invited him to a private listening session for a Biggie project, but it seems music was the last thing on Diddy's mind. And what the producer claimed happened next, in a warehouse full of Biggie's preserved clothing, is where this whole thing goes from just another accusation to something deeply weird. Imagine being in a room filled with actual clothes worn by the Notorious B.I.G. It's like hip-hop history. The producer claims that while he was checking out these iconic items, Diddy was on his phone watching some adult material, right? Then these basically escalated. So the report states that the producer saw Diddy pleasuring himself using one of Biggie's own shirts as a cover. And this is absolutely nuts. I mean, this guy is disgusting. And what happened? Diddy allegedly tossed the soiled shirt at the producer and basically said, "Rip Biggie." I mean, what kind of tribute is that? But as nasty as it sounds, the producer's story claims this was just a warm-up act, and basically says that after the Rip Biggie incident, he went to California for what he thought was a business meeting. But when he arrived at a house in the Hollywood Hills, things allegedly turned violent. The report claims he was ambushed by two men who roughed him up and put something over his head. He was then forced into another room, and that's when he says he heard a familiar voice screaming, calling him a snitch. He couldn't see much, but he told the police he immediately recognized Diddy's voice and his custom black Air Force One shoes. And what he accuses Diddy of doing next is just horrifying. So, according to the police report, this wasn't just about intimidation. This guy claimed that Diddy, furious and calling him a snitch, got violent. So basically Diddy grabbed his neck, his head, and then forced his thing, right? You get the picture, into the producer's mouth, which is absolutely insane, right? And it supposedly didn't stop there. The report details that this was done multiple times, a cycle of pure humiliation. When it was over, Diddy allegedly left the room, and the producer even claims that afterwards, CJ Wallace came in and seemed to feel bad for him. It's a horrifying account of power and abuse, but what's even more disturbing is that this single shocking story is starting to look like just one piece of a much larger, darker puzzle. So this one guy's story is horrifying enough, but here's the kicker. It's not an isolated incident, not even close. This new police report is just one piece of a giant messy puzzle, and right now Diddy is basically drowning in a sea of over 50 civil lawsuits. And when you look at them all together, a disturbing picture starts to form. So many of these stories coming from different people over many years echo the same theme: coercion, exploitation, and just plain violence. It seems like for decades there have been whispers and rumors about a culture of fear surrounding him. Now, those whispers are turning into a full-blown roar, And this producer story is just adding more fuel to the fire. And while all these skeletons are tumbling out of the closet, what's Diddy's life like right now? Well, he's not exactly living it up in a mansion anymore. We know it's in a prison at Fort Dix. And while this legal storm rages on the outside, we have some new images of Diddy from the inside, right? So there he is, sporting a big grey beard and a beanie, laughing and smiling with the other prisoners, like you have to wonder what he's telling them. Probably promising everyone a record deal just to make sure no one messes with his breakfast tray. It's hard to imagine like Mr. Combs enjoying early mornings and dirty laundry, but hey, maybe he's a natural. But then again, Joe Giudice, who did time at the very same place, mentioned that prisoners there are heavily influenced by money. He seems to think like Diddy will have no problem getting people to do his dirty work. So is that smile genuine, or is it the look of a man who thinks he can buy his way through anything? So what do we make of all this? We've got a fresh police report with accusation so strange they sound like something out of a twisted movie. Then you have the mountain of over 50 other lawsuits, all telling similar story of power, control and abuse. And in the middle of it, there's Diddy smiling for camera in his prison jumpsuit. Is that the look of a man who's completely innocent and unbothered, or is it the look of someone who thinks he can charm his way out of anything? This story is far from over. In fact, it feels like we are just seeing the tip of the iceberg, leaving everyone to wonder what other secrets are still buried. So who exactly is this producer making these wild accusations? This isn't just some anonymous John Doe filing a report in the dark. His name is Rodney Lil Rod Jones. And he wasn't some random studio intern looking for a quick payday. No, Lil Rod was deep inside Diddy's world. He was one of the key producers in Diddy's recent The Love album and claims he lived and traveled with the guy for over a year. He's the one who put his name on the bombshell 30 million lawsuit detailing everything from the bizarre Biggie shirt incident to the alleged violent assault. But as jaw-dropping as Lil Rod's story is, the truly terrifying part is that he's not the only one with a story to tell. Not by a long shot. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Miko. I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe.